You've been with us for Kaveri calling, now you're with me for Safe Soil. Fantastic.
I'll be there forever.
I like the commitment. Every third Sunday, our parents would always bring us to KRS, have full afternoon on games and stuff.
If I do a journey of probably 500 kilometers and I need sleep and I'm tired…
On a horseback? Most people thought I won't survive 100 days.
They don't know the true power which is behind Sadhguru.
10 million earth buddies if you get, I'll give you a…
Okay.
I told Samantha 25 million.
Can't do this, Sadhguru. Samantha can afford to have 25 million.
Namaskaram, Srinidhi. Wonderful seeing you.
So happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be
So
here.
you've been with us for Kaveri calling, now you're with me for Safe Soil. Fantastic.
I'll be there forever.
I like the commitment.
Yes, I'll be there forever. I'll be following you like millions others.
Henry, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ English ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ನಂಗೆ ಎರಡು ಓಕೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಓಕೆ ಡನ್. Sadhguru, so you're in Mysore and I know that you grew up here. How did this place change since last 30-40 years? Now that you see this place, what do you think?
You know, like when we were children, every third Sunday, our parents would always bring us to KRS. At that time there was no this separate road, we had to come on the dam.
Okay.
We were so excited about that. Red light will come, you can't go, green light will come, you can go. Those days we had not seen these things, that the road will be controlled like this.
Traffic.
So, we used to come every third Sunday, and as we became 12-13 years of age, it became once in 2 months. Then it kind of receded, and as we grew up, we went our own ways. But later on, me, my wife and Radhe when she was young, we used to come very often. But I wouldn't come in the evening because I don't like this very touristy kind of setup. So I would come in the daytime, the other side, where the Visvesvaraya canal is there and there is a lot of fruit trees and stuff. So we used to come there with a small group and play frisbee and have full afternoon of games and stuff and then go back before this whole tourist bunch came. But when we were children, these things were… this whole garden was lit up with regular bulbs, garish lighting, red, blue, green and all that.
I don't think it's yet there. What the memories that you have of…
No. After that I remember, I don't know which year, the Philips took the… the contract for relighting it. And they did it in a very subtle way, which was actually nice. The people of Mysore didn't like it. Oh, this is not KRS, this is not KRS, the KRS should be like that and all. But I think it stayed. When they did that, only that dancing fountain or dynamic fountain came up. But even now, the lighting is…
a little subtler.
looking like it's not lit up. I think it's a bit too subtle, I would say, because fountains are not being seen. At that time, fountains would be brightly
glowing
lit.
up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the old
this
pictures.
green mandapam would be fully green, Fully green means like how the palace is lit, like that, green mandapam sitting there.
It's all radiant.
Yeah, now they painted it green and it's not looking like that. I'm surprised it's so low, the light.
The city is almost same, I believe. The Mysore city is all same, I believe, almost.
No, it's changed a lot, but still it has that little quaintness, unlike Bangalore. I hope it retains that, because now there's a 6-lane road to Bangalore. If you want a big city, you can always be there in an hour. So, I hope Mysore retains its that city of palaces and gardens kind of image.
Yeah, we hope so too.
It was very beautiful.
You're here at the end of 30,000 kilometers and going strong. Whereas if I do a journey of probably 500 kilometers and I need sleep and I'm tired…
On what? On a horseback?
So that's what I was coming to that. You put all the youngsters to shame. How do you do this, Sadhguru? I know everybody asks you this, but I have to ask this one common question. How do you do this?
I've been telling you, you must do inner engineering, alright?
That's the answer.
Yep, it is. Because see, any machine for example, anything, any mechanism, if it's well engineered, it will function with least amount of friction. Essentially, good engineering means you take away the friction, with action, whatever activity it performs is almost seamless and effortless. This is also a very complex mechanism. human mechanism is a very complex mechanism. The important thing is that you take away all the friction. If there is friction within you, what it means is, you yourself are an issue in your life. Then how will you handle other issues when you are an issue yourself? This one thing you must decide in your life. We will face many issues in life. The more active you are, the more issues you will face. That's okay. But you should never be an issue in your life. You can be issue in somebody else's life. I'll give you the freedom.
Should not be
In your life, you shouldn't be the problem, isn't it? Then what is that? That's the dumbest thing to do. But for most people, their own thoughts, their own emotions are a big issue. They don't need anybody else, they don't need enemies, most of them are doing great by themselves.
Self-cost. I know. So, yeah, I think inner engineering.
This machine runs smooth, so it runs easy.
No friction, frictionless.
Most people thought I won't survive 100 days and 30,000 kilometers. Here I am, just another 250 kilometers, I'm there.
They don't know the true power behind Sadhguru. So, yeah, now they are aware of that. So I hope when I'm at your… I write like this when I'm at your age. But what different did you do?
I've already promised
nobody will do it?
that girl Samantha. I have promised an Indonesian girl. She's a very famous actor.
Okay.
And
what is the promise? I'm very curious.
I told her, see, if you get 10 million earth buddies,
okay,
you'll get to ride with me. So, she just flew to Dubai. I was in Dubai and said, Sadhguru, I've come to ride with you. I've done enough number of earth buddies, I'll ride with you.
Okay.
So
Did she do 10 million?
I don't know, I don't count. When she says she's done, I will go with that. So, then I was at the UAE agro farm. They have a farm I was visiting. So she came there. She said, I bought a new helmet and she had Save Soil sticker on it.
Wow.
I said, all right, are you really ready? Because the temperatures were soaring. On that day on road, the temperatures were around 52, 53. So she sat in my back seat and I rode. Like, there the speed limit is 160. So I was hitting 160 and she's like, in 15 minutes, Sadhguru, please, I love you, Sadhguru, stop.
Oh my God, but she got to sit there for 15 minutes. She was privileged, but she was tired of it. She was like done. And
it was too hot.
And you usually ride at that speed or more?
I don't tell you those things. It is the only crime I commit in my life, speed.
Oh my God, Sadhguru, how
But in Germany it was not a crime, so I can tell you.
Okay. So, I'm sure it's above 160.
My motorcycle is capped at 275, digitally, electronically capped. If we release that, it'll do probably 330, 340. Right now it's capped at 275.
And the vehicles that follow you, they can catch up to you, or I don't think they can catch up to you ever?
Catch up somewhere.
Catch up somewhere. Okay. I think then I need to aim at getting 10 million.
10 million earth buddies if you get.
I can come and strike, right? That I need a ride?
Yes.
Okay.
You will get a ride. You don't have to strike, I'll give you a ride.
Okay, done. Noted. So I'm going to do that.
I told Samantha 25 million. Are you not ashamed? You're taking only 10 million. Come on.
Don't do this, Sadhguru. Samantha can afford to have 25 million. Right now I can't afford to have 25. So
all right,
concession.
10 million.
Okay, 10 million. Done. Okay. So sweet. He gave me 10 million. Let's be a secret. Don't do this to anybody else. Just me 10 million. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to ask that what different you did when you were young, so that, you had your childhood and when you were growing up, but now you're like this. What was the different thing that you did, and probably we could also do it now, growing up?
One important thing I think I did was, I never identified myself with anything. I was involved with everything. Family, religion, politics, I was very involved, but never identified with it. School, education, especially education.
But when you say you don't identify yourself, means you're not…
See, the moment you identify, you get prejudiced. See, right now, nationality, for example, or religion. You get identified with that, suddenly you prejudice everything that's yours look good, everything that somebody else's doesn't look good. So that's one thing I did, that I never identified with anything. I simply looked at everything the way it is. So if you see things the way they are, it's very effortless to navigate through life. Right now the problem is, people get strongly identified and because of that they have strong opinions. You call it an opinion, I call it a prejudice. See, you have an opinion about what I am. This is a prejudice, I could be anything tomorrow morning different from what you're thinking, right? So, the moment you form opinions, you will be prejudiced. Right now, people are acting like it's their right to have their strong opinions. I have my own opinion. Now, the so-called whatever the civilized people, what they do is, I agree with your opinion, you agree with my opinion. So I scratch your back, you scratch my back, we'll go on without any problem.
Yeah.
This is rubbish.
Yeah.
At least if you fight about your opinion because you believe that's right, I would appreciate that.
This you be…
Yeah, I'll take yours, you'll take mine. Okay, both of us, both idiots get along. This is very hard for people to understand. People who are around me for more than 25–30 years, even today when I look at them, I don't have an opinion about them. I just look at them how they stand right now. See them for what they are today. Because what they were for last 25 years, today they need not be that. That's why the human being is important, because it's always a possibility. You know, like for example, we started these programs, how people wanted to do HR programs, I mean human resource. I said human is not a resource, human is a possibility. So we'll call it human possibility, not a resource. Resource means we know the quantity, we know the qualities of that. We take let's say sand or iron ore or steel or something, we know the quality of that. We know what it is and we know what we can do and what we cannot do. A human being is not like that, it's not a resource, it is a possibility. If you nurture a human being properly, people will do things that you never imagined possible, never imagined possible. See, even this 100-day journey, when I announced this on 3rd of January, people thought it's impossible. I said, you just do it, it's okay, it'll happen. And then some people who don't trust this, they went about inquiring with professional agencies, who can organize a tour like this, who can take care of this, who can take care of the logistics. Everybody looked at the mad schedule and they said, no, we can't do this. Seamlessly, across 27 nations, these 8 states, non-stop, without a single day of contingency. There's no contingency plan, either for the man or the machine. They planned this in such a way, one day if the machine is not working or if the man is not well, there is no contingency. Simply 100 days packed. See, when it comes to body, that's your body, this is my body. One day when we are buried, we will understand that is also not true. But at least for now, that is your body, this is my body. This is my mind, that's your mind. But there is no such thing as this is my life and that's your life. It's a living cosmos. You have captured a little bit of life, I have captured a little bit of life. How much life you capture within you will determine how significant your presence will be, your experience will be. This is what we are trying to bring into people's life within our engineering and various aspects of yoga, is so that as a life you're enhanced, not as a mind, not as a person, but as a life, you're an enhanced life. That means if you sit here simply by yourself, still your experience of life is significant. Right now for most human beings, they have to do something to become significant. Without doing anything, you're very significant. Then action becomes effortless, there is no stress about what will happen, what will not happen, because anyway your existence is very significant. This needs to happen to every human being. This is why Save Soil is under the banner of Conscious Planet.
Very, very apt for everybody to think twice why it's called Conscious Planet, because we're living so unconsciously right now. So, talking about youth, I mean, the day that we are living…
Talking about me? Okay, I got it.
You're the leader of that gang, you're the leader of that gang. Come on, Sadhguru. So, but yeah, the question that I'm asking, that doesn't include you, because we are fools and I want an answer for that. We have heard you telling that, if youth is not nurtured well, it can be disastrous. India being a young country where if youth are on right track, it could do wonders. Whereas I feel most of the youth, we are always in this state of confusion, no clarity, there is no focus. How do we get that change, that have that focus, that when you want to do something, you do it, you don't leave it?
See, can you read this board?
Yes, Royal…
No, read by alphabet.
ROYALORCHID.
Oh, you know all the alphabets.
Sadhguru.
No, no, I'm asking. How many years did you take to learn just 26 alphabets? At least 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, first few.
How many years to make words out of it?
Another few years, 2-3 years.
How many years to make sentences out of it?
Another 2-3 years? 3 years.
How many years to make literature out of it?
5-6 years.
Lot of time.
Yeah, lot of time.
So when you take that much time to learn just a simple language to put things together, why is it everybody is asking when it comes to most important aspects of life, Sadhguru, what is the takeaway? Give it to me in 2 minutes. That means people are not giving enough significance to their life. If your life is significant, is it not important for the well-being of your life to invest a certain amount of time? Now I am telling you, you invest 30 to 32 hours of time. We'll teach you something with which your chemistry will become blissful. If you simply stand here, you're blissed out. Now, once you're joyful by your own nature, you're not an issue, isn't it? Right now, your own issues are going on all the time. Life has many issues. The more activity you're doing, there are more issues about it. But you are not the issue. If this has to happen, you must be joyful by your own nature. For this, there are many ways to approach it. The simple thing is, if your chemistry becomes joyful, you will be joyful, isn't it? People are attempting this with a bottle or a pill or something. Well, it works for a little bit of time and then you know what all happens to them after that. So, there is another way because this is the greatest chemical factory in the universe that we know, isn't it? Most complex and sophisticated chemical factory is here. If you are a good manager of this factory, would you create blissful chemistry or miserable chemistry?
Blissful, every
Blissful.
day, yeah.
If you're a lousy manager, then you create miseries, tensions and confusions. So this is all it is. If you bring
This has to be taken care of.
Yes, without taking care of it, without paying enough attention to this, without doing the necessary work with it, you touch the world. Even if you touch it with best intentions, you'll only cause harm. Right now, that's what has happened to the soil. That's what has happened to the soil. Soil has not been destroyed because there is some evil force sitting somewhere wanting to destroy this planet in pursuit of human happiness and well-being. ಏನ್ರಿ ಕನ್ನಡನೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ?
ನಾನು
ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ನನಗೂ ಒಂದು ನೀಸ್ ನೆಫ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಯೂತ್ ಇನ್ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ಸ್, ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ಸ್, ದೇ ವುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇವನ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೆನಪು ಇರೋಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇರ್ ಫುಟ್ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸಿಟಿ ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಜಂಗಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ವೆಹಿಕಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಪರ್ ಹಾಕೋತಾರೆ.
I call this high heel life. I'm not talking about the ladies' fashion.
Yeah, I know, I understood. Yeah.
They are above the ground.
ಹಾಂ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನೆನಪಿರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅರ್ಥಿಂದ. how much it creates problem and how does it affect the youth? I mean everybody in general, people, at least the youth who have not stepped out.
I have been talking about this in various different ways now that you asked the question. See the way the lifestyle change that's happened, there are many aspects to it. One is not being in touch with any aspect of nature, not being in touch with any of the 5 elements except for consumption. There is no contact with water, fresh air, fire, anything, okay? Most people have never sat around a fire. Because there is no connection with any of the 5 elements, that is one aspect. Another aspect is today, if they are living in big cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, wherever else, most of the Indian cities I would say, if they step out of their home, they are straight into the traffic. They don't have this thing about simply running out of your home like a butterfly and hopping all over the place and nothing hits you. They always become concerned and conscious. Yes. For this, in another 15-20 years, we'll pay a huge price. The number of people with psychological ailments will go up in a very massive way. One thing is lack of contact with 5 elements, another is lack of carefree living when they're young. So we need to change this as a part of this. I'm part of this what is called as future cities. So I am suggesting a one-building city.
Oh.
Someday when you have the time, I'll explain to it. You and maybe you can do a project, one-building city around Bangalore.
Okay.
See, if you go 50 kilometers outside the city, the real estate costs are probably 10% or less,
Yes.
right? So you buy 50 acres. You build only 1 acre, 50 floors or more. Up to 100 floors you can build whatever you want. Residences, offices, a small school up till 7th standard, a small theatre to watch your movies. See, I'm making accommodation for everyone.
I'm loving it, Sadhguru, I'm loving it.
A little sports center.
I'm very actually calculating this plan, really.
Little sports center, a gymnasium, whatever people need, everything in the building. Remaining 49 acres, absolutely no building. Okay, at the most you can build some gazebos and mandapams like that where people can sit. But no construction, no enclosed construction. Rest you just make it like a forest, have water bodies and this… whatever this KRS, if not manicured like this, simply you can have it like this, not like this but full of trees, where children will grow up very healthy. One aspect of life is children, right? Whether we individually want to have children or not, the future of the world is that generation. If they grow up sick very early, sick because you removed them from the source of life. They never swam in a river, I can't believe most of them have never swam in a river. You know, I must tell you, because you come from Mangalore, Netravati, I'm at that time made like this that if I see water, I just jump into it. See a hill, I have to climb it. I'm like that. So I'm riding on a motorcycle, my wife is new, she's just married just for 3 months or so, so she's riding with me. I come and Netravati bridge was new at that time, it's more than a kilometer long bridge. So I park there and I unbutton my shirt, put it there, I take off my trousers, in my underpants, I just jump off the…
She must have been shocked.
I just jump off the bridge, maybe about 40 feet, 45 feet, something like that.
You're not scared, though? What if you hit some rock or something?
No, I'm not that stupid, I can see the depth. And I jump where the bridge wall is, you know, where the wall is, the water is coming up almost 5–6 feet more because it hits the wall and coming up, I go right there. So I got extra 5–6 feet buffer. So I jump and you know, anyway, because the river is flowing this way, I go through the bridge, come out, swim out there and come back. So almost 25–30 minutes. When I come back, a huge crowd has gathered. This girl is standing there crying her heart out because she's looking on the other side. He said, "Where did you go? What did you do?" And all. I said, "You fool, why are you looking this side? If I fall this side, the river is flowing that side, I will come there, isn't it?" She's looking here and crying that I drowned.
My God, I can't blame her. Anybody would have cried, Sadhguru. Suddenly out of the blue you
jump. If she had come this way, she would have seen me
at least
swimming.
But you… after 40 minutes? 50 minutes of…
About 25–30 minutes because I had to swim out, come to that shore and walk back.
So yeah, that is lacking these days, these kids. And
they don't have to do those kind of things.
At least touch the mud or play with…
At least a dip in the river has not happened in your life means what a sad story you are. And I travelled across India where I never stayed in hotels, I always camped next to a small stream or somewhere, I parked there my motorcycle and washed myself there and, you know, ate around that. And being in nature, what it does to you cannot be described, just cannot be described. For weeks on end I've been in Western Ghats trekking and in Gopal Swami Betta, these regions. Once I was out there for nearly 23 days, like no equipment those days except my HMT watch. You know what's HMT?
I know.
You know HMT?
I don't know, but the belt is old-fashioned still.
So HMT watch is the only equipment I have. There are no phones, there is no other equipment, I don't even have a torchlight. The matchbox that I carry, by second day it's all wet and gone.
23 days.
By about 8th or 9th day, something like that, my shirt, half of my shirt is gone because when I was getting off the tree, it went off. So I always slept on the trees and in the daytime I looked for food and walked around. I walked 163 kilometers, I think, for 23 days through the jungle. I saw all kinds of animals, tigers, elephants, bison, there are lots of them. So, alone by myself, finding my own food, because my food ran out on third, fourth day. That's all you can carry.